Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We are working back on the Mustang today. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I got build videos on this car along with some autocross videos for this car. Right now we're in prep for the 2022 race season coming up. So I am sitting in the car and we got the dash out right now. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to do some weight savings on the dash and kind of go over how much weight we could actually save by removing some of these components that, if you're like me, the car is not really a street car anymore. It's pretty much a dedicated autocross or race car. And there's a lot of stuff underneath the dash that you don't need anymore. So, as I explained in some of the previous videos, I've already gutted some of the things underneath, but we're going to go weigh the items and figure out how much things actually weigh. So like the heater core blower assembly is out there. So we'll weigh that, see how much that actually weighs. If you don't drive your car in wintertime or if you don't have AC, it's really pointless to have it in there, I think. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some airflow go through the car, but that's only for when you're kind of stationary. When you're moving, you'll have the windows down a lot of times if you're on track or autocross, and you'll have a breeze coming through. And really that moving air, I don't think really helps you all that much if it's not actually cold. So that is gone. If you ever taken out the dash, you'll notice that there's usually a black mat that's going across here, across the firewall, to help keep noise and heat out of the inside of the car. That is gone right now. I'm going to leave it out. It probably is not going to do that much for noise and heat in this car, since there's nothing actually underneath of this carpet and other body panels. So that's all gone. That actually weighs like at least 10 pounds. It might have been just a little bit over 10 pounds. It's heavy. So if you're trying to get rid of weight, that's a good candidate right there. Everything else in here would be attached to the dash. So let's take a look at the dash and see what items in there we can actually remove also. All right, we got the dash out of the car. We got it sit on the workbench. Since my car is not a full race build, I'm not actually going to go through and cut out any of this metal structure. I'm going to leave, I think, all of it still there. There's a lot of weight that you could actually save by cutting out the metal structure that you don't need. This area here, you still need, because it is what holds your steering column. So, and that's where most of the weight is. But that portion is still required. But anything on this side of the car, not really needed. So you'll notice that radio is gone, HVAC is gone, ducting all gone, airbag all gone. I'm going to go through and clean up all this wiring for things that aren't here anymore. And then we'll see how much weight just that can save also. So speaking of weight, we got this dash sitting on the scale. It is sitting right now at 55 pounds. So it's a little hefty. So we'll see if we can trim out any of these other modules and wiring to see if we can get that down a little bit. I don't think we'll be able to save too much weight there, but we'll see what we can do. So let's go see how much the heater core and assembly all weighs. All right, so here's the heater core assembly and the blower motor. So I got it sitting on the scale right now. So we are looking at around 18 pounds, and that's without any coolant or water or anything in there. So it would be probably a little bit heavy. So we can maybe round up to about 20 pounds that this guy here weighs. So that's a good amount of weight that you can also remove from the car. So right now with the mat, we're at 30 pounds. I'll have to see if I can find radio or the HVAC control module to see if I weighed those, but those are probably only a few pounds anyways. So yeah, let's go see what other things we can remove weight from that dash. Alright, I found some other random stuff from the dash. Put this on the scale. So we got a radio, we got an airbag module, we got the HVAC controls, got the plate and plastic from underneath the steering column. That's pretty heavy. We got some more of the ducting. The defrost. Let's see what all that weighs. Just over 10 pounds. It looks like we're maybe at 13 to 14 pounds. So that's another considerable weight advantage. So we're currently sitting at, say, 43 pounds of stuff removed. So I think with a few other things that we'll remove from the dash, I think we'll be able to get to 50 pounds removed from just the dash area pretty easily without even doing any metal cutting structural wise. That's pretty good. Now let's go see what we can do wiring wise. Alright, so I've started stripping out some of the wiring. I'm not afraid of wiring. If you are planning on doing any wiring, getting a proper book is fundamental. So this is the electrical troubleshooting manual for a 94 Mustang. You can find these on eBay for multiple different years. But they have so much information on them. They got the schematics, they got connector views, they got the component views. So as you can kind of see here, this is the back of the dash. So it's kind of helping me go through, figure out what the connectors are and which ones I can remove. Like these ones are all airbags, so they can go. So I'll start going through this wiring, get them all kind of removed, pair it out of there, get a slimmed down harness, and we'll see how much weight that will then take out. All right, here is the dash wiring. It's been pared down a lot. I still need to go back and kind of clean it all up, get it all tape back up, but there are some things that I want to add to the dash, such as a push button start and some switches. So I've left some things out, such as just some powers and some grounds to use possibly if I need to. These were for the radio and some other things, but the wiring harness has been pared down a lot. So this is everything that I have removed from the harness. So it's a lot of modules that aren't actually on the car or things that aren't being used anymore. So there was things for like anti-theft and airbags and HVAC and radio and ignition switch and a whole bunch of other things. So that all weighs about 2.5 pounds. So that's 2.5 pounds that has been removed from the dash. So not a lot, but every little ounce, pound add up to more weight. And I mentioned earlier that the airbag is removed. I don't have it, so I forgot to count in that weight. So I don't really know how heavy that thing is, but I know it was kind of hefty. So I'm going to say it was 5 to 10 pounds more that has been taken off of this dash. So we are sitting right around 52, 53 pounds. So that's pretty good. And that is with the steering column still sitting in there. No steering wheel on it, but still the steering column adding weight to this dash. So as I said, I removed the ignition switch. So if you've seen some of the earlier videos, the key portion of this switch had actually failed. It was no longer moving this ignition switch. So I actually had this just sitting up underneath the dash, and we would manually move this back and forth to start the car. So getting rid of that, gonna go wire these into some relays. I'll do a separate video on that, I believe. So those will get wired into a push button start and some switches and everything to make that nice and easy. All right, so that wraps up my dash weight reduction that I'm doing on the car. So like I said, if you're doing a full race car, there's still a lot of structure in here or other weight savings that you could do. You could even probably change out this dash pad for carbon fiber or fiberglass or something like that to get even more weight taken off. But I think I've done pretty good. I've taken out probably close to 50 pounds. So I've cut this down pretty much in half of what it would have weighed, including the heater core, which isn't actually part of the dash, but is up in that dash area. So including that, I've cut the weight down by half of what it would have started out as stock. So quite happy with that. Thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully you've learned something for if you want to try to save some weight on your Mustang or any cars really in general. There's a lot of things that you can remove from underneath the dash to save weight. In the next videos, we'll be going over putting in push button start and ignition switches, getting that all wired in, and then I think the dash will pretty much be done and we'll go back into the car. So thank you for watching. We will see you guys on the next one.